Welcome back to Griffith Park, California, where our final game of the 2025 season will be held between Joshua Denk and Raghav Malaviya for our final Regulation I tournament here for the 2025 season. I'm Francisco Coronel. That is Dennis Geisler. We have our finalists. It's Josh Denk and Raghav Malaviya, as we said. Once again, the teams are Power Shadow Rider, Zama Senta, Ogrepon Cornerstone, Raging Bolt, Whimsicott, and Chen Pao for Josh. For Raghav, it's Baridon, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Urshifu Raptor Strike, Grimmsnarl, and the Calyrex Ice Rider.
Yeah, and on Raghav's side, we've got a lot of that balanced stuff that we've seen. Double Fake Out, have the Grimmsnarl for screen support. We'll just have to see what he wants specifically in this matchup. He has a lot of the basic tools of Pokemon, and it's just a question of what do you actually do with them here. Also, notably, no way for Josh to overwrite terrain here.
The only thing he can do is get rid of it.
The Ice Spinner. Yeah, I forgot about he does have the Ice Spinner.
He can't replace the terrain. He can get rid of it though.
Yeah. Just to say, I thought did we see a very similar matchup to this in
Swiss?
In Swiss, yeah.
Maybe we're just forgetting.
Yeah, it's been so many rounds today, man.
Again, this is the last one for the season, so a lot of it matters at this point.
Yep, been a lot of Pokemon being played, and I'm just curious what the plays are here.
All right, both players are locked in here. In terms of historical moments for this 2025 Hall of Fame class for the Chim Challenge, 20 different champions in the crown. Can we end on the 21st, or will we have another two-time champion? Because we have multiple champions, 4 different occasions. Here we go. Game number 1. From Raghav's perspective, it's going to be the Incineroar and Calyrex Ice Rider out of the gate. It's Zamas at the Chen Pao for Josh Denk.
And it does mean that there is Fake Out Trick Room pressure immediately from Raghav's side.
And yeah, there's an shield, and the attack that will fall, which helps out against Behemoth Ash again.
Yeah, and the problem is Chen Pao is also drastically weakened right now by the...
That is a bold play from Josh. I actually do like this play.
I think this is a good play.
Yeah, here's the Terrestrialization. Wait, yeah, that's Josh's Terrestrialization first. I got a little confused for a second. It's the Chen Pao going to Terrestrialize into that Ghost typing. Definitely wants to avoid a Fake Out here.
Yeah, you can avoid a Fake Out, and then we'll move first after the Fake Out. So.
What doesn't happen, though, is a better question to ask you. Fake Out into the Zama Senta, so that gets blanked. Zama won't move this turn, but a taunt comes out for this Chen Pao, meaning this Calyrex cannot go for Protect or go for a Trick Room. Or even its last move, which we haven't yet revealed yet. It's Glacial Lance, so it plays around it perfectly. This might take the Chen Pao to Sash. No.
Yeah, the problem here for Raghav is that Wide Guard now completely blanks Calyrex. So you kind of need to switch it out.
What does Incineroar do? Because I think Incineroar has an easier time.
Incineroar KOs Chen Pao from this range easily.
And so it's like you bring up the Wide Guard play, but then that just opens up Incineroar to just knock out the Chen Pao. What's the Chen Pao doing in this situation? Oh, Incineroar switches out. I stand corrected. What comes in here? It's the Grimmsnarl.
Okay, Grimmsnarl. It is now able to Thunder Wave the Chen Pao.
And Raghav's going to Terrestrialize Calyrex, so it's going to go to that Fairy typing we saw earlier in the day.
Yeah, I mean, if it takes no damage from either of these Pokemon at this point, if it's just Behemoth Bash that has to be scared of, it's not scared of anything.
I mean, it'll still lead to Steel nonetheless, so that's already been a given. Chen Pao just going to Protect, so it won't get KO'd this turn. So Zama's going to have to take a Glacial Lance. It's Body Press into the Grimmsnarl slot. That is over 90% damage, and it just hangs on by a thread. Incineroar would have 100% when it went down. And his Glacial Lance going to return onto the Zama's. I think that's a critical hit.
Yeah. Good damage because of the crit, but now Grimmsnarl has basically just a choice of what it wants to Thunder Wave here.
Or Scream.
Or alternatively. Yeah, it can also get a Reflect Up if it wants. I mean, the problem is, like, you probably get Grimmsnarl for one turn here if you're Raghav, but you kind of don't want it on the field. You kind of want to bring in some other dude.
It's Wide Guard coming in, so no Glacial Lance this turn. Chen Pao won't be KO'd by Calyrex, so no Chilling Nade is going to activate this turn. It's Thunder Wave into the Chen Pao, so it will be a bit disruptive.
Hold for para. Hold for full para.
That's what we're holding for right now. I guess not the Ice Spinner. It will knock out the Grimmsnarl.
That also means that Chen Pao is much slower now, so if it's Incineroar that comes in, it won't outspeed, but if it's like Miraidon that comes in, it'll do the fastest thing in the field.
Yeah, there's another Glacial Land. It's not going to do much of anything because of the white guard. Yeah,
Or like, I don't know, Urshifu. Could be anything.
Yeah, it really could be anything. Okay, wait, I protected Chen Pao. I forgot about that one. And the Tauntaun and the Calyrex. And Miraidon's the last one from Raghav.
So yeah, this is the Covert Cloak one that we saw before.
Yeah, don't worry, this is not Assault.
Yeah, not Assault Vest. It doesn't have Protect available. But also, I mean, Electro Drift into the Zamazenta do a lot of damage. You can also just keep clicking Glacial Lance on the Calyrex if you want, like, or even Volt Switch out on the Chen Pao. Like, there's a lot of little stuff that you can do.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that both these players can do, and well, Miraidon clearly has an advantage here, and Chen Pao has to get it here.
Yeah. I mean, I think Electro Drift probably KOs the Zama from this range.
Okay, it's Raging Bull.
The Wide Guard is out of the way.
Okay, Raging Bull comes in here with that booster energy proc and the electric terrain, so if it actually gets a chance to go for an electric type attack, it'll be devastating damage.
Okay.
And Calyrex switches up for Incineroar for Raghav.
I don't hate that. I mean, you can take out pressure next turn, and it's mostly just a question of what does Miraidon go for here, and if it is Electro Drift, does it actually KO Zamazenta?
Pretty good chance it might, and oh, it's Electric Drift into the Zamazenta. It's just a Hatron engine boosted and Electric Train boosted, which does knock out Zamazenta, so all Josh did was reposition.
Yeah, but also Zamazenta's gone now, which now means that later, whenever Calyrex comes in, it has the opportunity to just click Glacial Lance and win the game.
And here's the last Pokemon from Josh, is the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Once again.
I think the big problem here is that Miraidon has not taken enough damage yet to make that Shadow Rider particularly scary. And Incineroar is on the field as well.
Yeah, Incineroar
and Terra has already been burned.
Yeah, the Terra has been burned on the Chen Pao. It's just not having a good time right now.
Yeah. I'm struggling to think of what Calyrex can do here other than, like, stall for time.
I think that's all he
but
can
even then,
do.
what does it do if it stalls for time? I mean, Miraidon, I guess it can get hit pretty hard with Dragon Pulse.
Certainly a case, but like...
But even then, like, you're kind of just, I don't know, playing around a little bit with trying to get a couple more turns out of this.
Raging Bolt does protect this turn, so there won't be a Draco Meteor hitting that slot anytime soon, or Fake Out. Astro Barrage just gets launched by this Light Force Calyrex Shadow Rider into both of these Pokemon. Miraidon takes it over half.
Okay. That's a good amount of damage to Miraidon, but Calyrex is done.
Draco Meteor, did it hit the Raging Bolt? Yeah, it did. I was holding for a miss.
Yeah, and this should be knockoff.
Yeah, it is. And down goes the Calyrex Shadow Rider in a single hit thanks to the quad weakness.
Yeah. And at this point,
you're down to the Terra Ghost, Chen Pao, and a Raging Bolt.
Yeah, you sure are. And both of these Pokemon don't quite appreciate Ice Rider at this point. And also, frankly, neither of them really has an answer for Incineroar. You probably have a way through Miraidon with Sucker Punch. Like Sucker Punch and potentially even Thunderclap as well. But, I mean, if it ends up just being like Raging Bolt against like Incineroar and Ice Rider or something.
It's Sucker Punch into Miraidon. Barely hangs on. Unfortunately, there's Volt Switch. Gonna knock out the Chen Pao thanks to the electric terrain, and will switch out back to the Calyrex after the KO on the Chen Pao.
Yeah, and that should probably be the game at this point.
What a play from Raghav. You know, having the sheer willpower for that Miraidon to hold on at around 2 to 1 HP from that Sucker Punch and brings back out the Calyrex. And, well, now let's see what this is. I'm pretty sure it has to be a parting shot now that the play's been made.
Could be a parting shot. It also could just be like a knockoff or something.
But can it take a Thunderbolt? That's the issue. Thunderbolt. This boosts your energy and electric terrain boost. It does not take the hit.
All right. I mean, that's good for Josh, obviously, but the problem now is, like, what do you do about the whole Miraidon and Calyrex Ice Rider thing? This Miraidon will still get one hit off, and Calyrex Ice Rider will get a couple hits off.
I mean, there's still a chance for mistakes to happen, because, like, you know, Thunderclap's still an option with all the boosts that are here present for the Raging Bolt.
Yeah, I mean,
and yeah, it protects.
Okay, Miraidon protects, so that is an option for Josh to get in this a little bit. Might need a para.
Oh, never mind, it's double protect. Alright, so, yeah, there's the Raging Bolt going for the Thunderbolt. It did target the Calyrex, so that's good information.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Miraidon has the chance to miss with Draco Meteor, and Calyrex doesn't have a chance to miss.
It connects. Raghav Malaviya wins game number 1.
Nice win. Very nice win. Definitely, again, played really well against that around that Terra Fairy Ice Rider. There's just not a lot that hits Fairy in this metagame. There's Steel, and there's Poison, and there's not much Poison damage, and there's very little Steel damage. And what's nice is a lot of people think they have Steel damage until they get Incineroared with their Zamazenta, and they're like, oh wait, I'm -1, and I have no attack investment. I can't really actually hit this Calyrex Ice Rider for any real damage with Behemoth Bash or with Heavy Slam. What do I do now? And Raghav's doing a really good job of playing around that at this point.
Yeah, and now Raghav is 1 game away from ending the season with a victory here for this Gym Challenge series. Josh can still do it if he gets it back and turns it around with back-to-back wins. He can still do this. It's going to be difficult, though, based on what Raghav was able to do game number 1. You know,
Yeah.
the control aspect was like really impressive. You know, the Terra Fairy, I think, ultimately did nothing, but it did at least scare off Body Press.
Yeah, and I mean, it made Astro Barrage less useful against it in potentially, and yeah, it scared off Body Press, which I think is the big thing. Because if you stay neutral to Body Press, a couple of Body Presses will knock you out. We've seen that with like Ice Rider in general, and also with like the Terra Water Ice Riders or the Terra Fire Ice Riders. But when you go towards that Terra Fairy, there's not really a good answer into it, so Josh will have to find some way to break through that Terra Fairy Ice Rider, and even had like a pretty good answer against it, going Taunt and Wide Guard. You completely shut it down. It can't do anything to you. But then its teammates pick up the slack there, and if you can't do anything to it,
I was about to mention that, you know, I was about to mention that because like Josh had the perfect way to wall up the Calyrex Ice Rider, but then it allowed Raghav's second Pokemon to just wreak havoc.
Yeah, exactly, and it's difficult to play around that combination of factors.
And yeah.
Josh is using his glitching jutsu to power up right now.
Oh my god! Why are we making this joke now? All
He's powering up for game number 2.
All right, let's see what that power up does for him, and then we're going to go to game number 2. It's Miraidon Grimmsnarl from Raghav this time for game number 2. It's Calyrex Zamazenta from Josh, so both restrictors are out for Josh.
Yeah, and I think Raghav is the better end of this right now, just because you do have the Grimmsnarl out on the field. You do have to play around it a little bit, but like, I mean, what does Shadow Rider do right now? Do you burn your Terra immediately to prevent yourself from getting Thunder Waved and probably just taken out straight up?
Yeah, I was also going to say, if you do go for the Terra Dark, you open yourself the Spirit Break.
That's also true. Like, there's not really a super good answer right now, but also Raghav could just not read what Josh wants to go for here.
It's Reflect, so it's more worried about the Zamazenta right now.
Yeah, might have even been predicting a Protect from the Calyrex, but that is not what happened.
Yeah, and we noticed that's at least half damage to the Miraidon through this Life Orb. Yeah, that's a lot of damage to the Miraidon, like straight up. Life Orb recoil has been taken. It's Volt Switch into the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Does not KO, but it will get out.
Say it. This might get pretty close to KOing. It doesn't get the KO though.
And if Grimmsnarl was able to stick around, it could get both screens up, and then Raghav might be set.
Yeah.
Calyrex Ice Rider comes in from Raghav now, so it could be opened up for Incineroar just to come in here maybe and just get another Intimidate off of this Zamazenta, but if he matches the Grimmsnarl, it hangs on.
Does hang on. So yeah, it can be the light screen as well, and then getting the Terra Fairy up, and then just kind of seeing what happens. Or even just going for a Trick Room. Try to play around that, because ain't no taunt on the field right now.
Not yet, at least. And Josh once again fires up the Terastallization button into the Calyrex for Dark typing again.
This is a little bit scary because you could just waste it right now if.
I mean, it's hoping for a Thunder Wave here.
Yeah, it has to hope for a Thunder Wave.
Terastallization for Raghav as well.
And this makes sense. You kind of have to Terra Fairy this CIR right now to make sure you don't get hit really hard with Astro Mirage, but then don't get hit very hard in general, especially once you're able to get rid of the CSR, if you are able to do that this turn.
Grimmsnarl goes for the light screen, so it will increase its defenses for both the physical and special moves. Astro Mirage, though, make it close to KO this Grimmsnarl now with the light screen up. Yeah, it will.
And it does okay damage to the Calyrex, and we know it's not Wide Guard now for the Zamazenta. So
yeah, there's the KO on the Grimstone, activating the Grim name for the special attack boost, but the special attack boost may not be as useful as the time's ticking on it. That's a big critical hit for the behemoth.
alrighty, well that will change some stuff.
Double KO from Joshua Denk. Raghav now just down to a Marida and a mystery Pokemon.
Yeah, and that should pretty much end things, because the CSR, I mean, even if the last Pokemon has Fake Out, which statistically, based on Raghav's team, it probably does.
It's the Centaur.
But regardless, it should be pretty easy for CSR to just go for a Protect this turn, big Astral Barrage next turn, and like Zamazenta ends the game with like a Body Press into the Incineroar. Like, I don't really see any way that this goes other than that.
That was a game-changing critical hit, because we know it takes at least one hit thanks to that Reflect. And here comes another game free, and this one's for all the marbles.
And I mean, that was the powering up that Josh did, is to get that really big crit.
No, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about missing no in this metagame.
I mean, he got the really big crit there. I mean, again, I wonder how much that would have done without the crit, because it was... Crit did go through Reflect, so that does matter, and it does have the boosted damage on top of that, but it would have done pretty solid damage without, because it wasn't -1 yet. Incineroar hadn't hit the field at all. And so there could have been an option for Josh to be able to take that game against the Ice Rider with 1 or 2 more hits into that slot. But certainly it ended the game just to do it right there, especially on what was probably a Glacial Lance. So here we go, one final game, and I mean, obviously the CSR Zama lead worked for Josh that last game, but
I'll be with a bit of luck.
With a bit of luck. So do you want to go for the same thing now?
And also that Pterodart ended up doing nothing because Thunderwave never came out.
Yeah, the Pterodart didn't do anything. It did end up really mattering there. And then honestly...
It makes sense to do it, but it's just like, Raghav didn't go for the Thunderwave as Josh thought.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, did Josh need Terra at any point later than that? Probably not. It maybe flexes you away out of 1 potential hit, but...
I'm now wondering what Raghav does here, because, like, other than the critical hit, were you even in a good position against the Counteract in Zamazenta?
I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I mean, it would have depended on how much the Zama did in that slot. If it brought it, like... It depends on what the difference was between a crit through the Reflect versus just that normal hit into the Reflect. Like, still super effective at neutral. Really don't know.
Yeah, and here comes the final game of the 2025 season. Joshua Denk, Raghav, Malaviya. Who will be your final champion for the season? And will it be another repeat, or will it be a brand new opponent to claim the crown? It's going to be Ryan and Grimstone again from Raghav. It's Raging Bull Calyrex from Josh.
Okay, so immediately, I mean, the obvious thing is that Light Screen can go up, and it would weaken all the damage here. On the other hand, Raghav can read a Terra/no Terra from Josh's Calyrex and go for like a Thunder Wave Electro Drift or something.
But also, this Raging Bull's an extremely dangerous threat right now because it has to boost your energy plus the electric terrain again.
That is certainly true, although I don't know. It's not like it would take out Maridon with a Thunderclap or even get it after an Astral Barrage or with an Astral Barrage.
No, most definitely not. And the thing is, it's like, Raging Bull's got to do damage quick if this is the context of the Raging Bull against like a lot of Raghav's team now that's like in a perfect damage position.
Yeah.
You could also just Dragon Pulse or Dragon Meteor to Maridon.
I think the big thing about this lead for Josh is that even if Raghav makes good plays here, pivots out well, you're still getting a lot of damage down for Josh.
There's a Terrestrialization from Josh. Once again, turn number 1. It's Raging Bolt's Terra to Terrestrialize. It's even more powered up thanks to Electric Terra.
Yeah, but Raghav can read this, go for the Thunder Wave into CSR. This could be pretty important. Okay, no, it just protects. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, just protecting the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Now, to see how this turn plays out. Is it the light screen? Yeah, the light screen.
Yeah.
So it's a light screen. It's a super powered Raging Bolt here with all the boosts that it needs required. Dragon Meteor connected to the Raging Bolt. Thankfully not weak to it anymore. It survives thanks to Terra.
A lot of damage. That is still a lot of damage that it did there.
Terra Electric Booster Energy Special Attack. Electric Terrain. Thunderbolt. It's the Grimstone. Okay, I don't need to hype that up any further.
Yeah, Grimstone takes that hit there, and now kind of weird for Josh because the Calyrex is gonna get Thunder Wave. Can't really do anything about that happening. You probably have to, I mean, you can switch it out if you really need it to not get Thunder Wave. But then something else gets Thunder Wave.
I mean, even if it does Thunder Wave, Marina's damage output has been lower thanks to that Draco Meteor.
It has, but if Calyrex gets Thunder Wave, like, you don't get to play the game if Calyrex gets Thunder Wave. Like, Calyrex is not Calyrex if it gets Thunder Wave, especially if it's Life Orb, because you just don't have the sash.
It connects.
Got it. Yeah. And that's nice for Raghav. I'm curious now what he wants to go for, if he goes for, like, big damage.
Another Draco Meteor, he's just going to take out the Raging Bolt right here.
Yeah, I think that was the only move on the Miraidon that took out the Raging Bolt from this range. And getting rid of the Raging Bolt now. Terra's out of the way, the big scary Raging Bolt's out of the way. That's definitely very good for Raghav, and the Astral Barrage here won't do a lot of damage.
I mean, it gets it off, but it's still into the light screen. Brimstone hangs on,
Yeah.
Mirage takes it a bit more comfortably.
Yeah, and now, I mean, at this point, even at -4, Miraidon can pretty comfortably, like, pivot out and end business. Or it could even just, like, hard switch out. There's still a lot of options for Raghav. I mean, that's the thing, is, like, when the CSR is paralyzed, you have so many more options. Because now, like, everything outspeeds it instead of it outspeeding everything. And there are probably still things on Raghav's team that CSR is actually faster than, even while paralyzed, but...
Mirana's the big one, but it's clearly severely weakened right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's pretty obvious he's got to switch out, and if you're Josh, I think the obvious switch out is Mirana switch out to Incineroar. And Zamazenta is easily one of the best Pokemon to punish that play.
Yeah, but also Zamazenta can get Thunder Waved here. Like, there are a lot of outs for Raghav to just kind of take advantage of this duo here. Frankly, the Miraidon can still Volt Switch out and get a little bit of damage down. I mean, it won't do much, but I'm curious how Raghav wants to play this. There are a couple of ways that he can go about it. Reflect can go up, or Light Screen can go up. Can just go for a Spirit Break into one of these slots.
It's Reflect, so no Thunder Wave comes out. Zamazenta will at least have... Oh, wait, the Mirana stayed in! Hold on a minute. It says it's going to Volt Switch into Zamazenta. That's not a lot of damage.
Damage is damage, though, and it means you get the slower pivot out.
If it's Incineroar, you might... I'm pretty sure it's got to be Incineroar, right? Yeah, it's Incineroar. I felt like this was obvious from the beginning.
Incineroar. But I mean, it means that you get the Volt Switch out for the Incineroar instead of just the hard switch into Incineroar. It means you get a little bit more.
His body rest into the Incineroar. Was able to survive that one thanks to the Reflect. We saw that previously from a round before. Does Calyrex move? It does. It gets the Astral Barrage off. It should knock out the Grimmstar, but Incineroar will have its turn. Yes, it will have its turn.
Okay. Incineroar does get to do something here. And the thing is, now you get to bring in Miraidon again. And,
yeah, Calyrex takes some damage from that Life Orb, and Miraidon does just come back in for Raghav.
And now it's kind of read-based, like, does Shadow Rider protect here? Does it successfully protect? Yeah. And then the Zamazenta just go down to an Electro Drift here, because I think that's possible. Yeah, that's also true. Like, but the thing is, Zamazenta can get Fake Outed here as well. Like, there's just and then, honestly, Josh can go for the double protect, in which case it comes down to paralysis or not. Kind of read-based. All right, let's see.
And Incineroar switches out, so no fake out comes out. This could be... I think this does scream Electro Drift into the Zamazenta, as Calyrex Ice Rider is the final Pokemon from Raghav.
Yeah, I think, honestly, it might be Raghav reading the protect on the Calyrex here, or the protect from the Zamazenta.
Oh, okay, Zamazenta. Calyrex has yet to move because of that paralysis, cutting its speed in half. It can protect!
Does it get hit now? If it gets hit, this is big.
Yep. Down goes Calyrex, and now it's 2-on-2. 2 Pokemon left for Josh, excuse me. 2 Pokemon left. It's Zamazenta, and then 1 mystery Pokemon.
And,
it's Chimpao.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe I know what is in here last, and, guess what? Terra is still available for Raghav. Terra Fairy Calyrex still an option, and what do you do about that guy?
What do you do as a Miraidon? I think I'm more worried about that, I'll be honest.
Miraidon just hard switches into the Incineroar. I mean, well, yeah, the Miraidon is also a problem by itself, but honestly, at this point,
Because the Electro Drift just knocks out the Zamazenta.
yeah, the Ice Rider, yeah, that's also true. Like, there's a lot of ways into this. I mean, the thing is, you might want to switch out the Miraidon, yeah,
Okay.
because you'll probably get taken out by the Ice Spinner. So it's smart to do that.
Even
you
with the Reflect?
maybe. I guess it could be close. But the thing is, you weaken the attacks here, and then, I mean, you're going to get it back out in just a second when Incineroar drops.
Oh my
No
god,
Terra.
double protect!
Double protect. No Terra from the Ice Rider.
Ice Spinner does go out into the Incineroar. Does it take it? No! And that's, I think, really bad for Josh, because first of all, the focus is just broken by the Rocky Helmet, and second of all, terrain's gonna reset!
Yeah, terrain will get reset, although, I mean, Chen Pao will still be faster, and so it'll still be able to set the terrain again.
It's
Question
Leech
here.
Seed into the double protect.
I was going to say, what is the Calyrex about to go for? And the Leech Seed makes sense, but also, I think at this point, again, like, other than a crit.
It's 2-on-2, Dennis. It's 2-on-2 for the final.
Yeah. 3 restricteds and Chen Pao, our good friend.
Is Chen Pao really a good friend? No. Why was it sealed away all this
Chen Pao's
time?
my good friend.
Why was it sealed away for all this time?
Literally just a kitty.
Clearly there's a kitty for bad according to the historians.
The thing is for Zamazenta here, and
There's
yeah,
a
there's the
translation
Terra.
coming from Raghav, but who is it
Yeah.
to? If it's
It's gotta be
Raghav's
Ice
electric character,
Rider.
Miraidon? Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. Maybe just saying, okay, if I can KO the Zama right here, then I win.
There's still a critical hit chance. I think Raghav's not taking that, like, lightly.
Yeah.
Cannot get a triple protect.
Not going to get the 1 in 9 triple protect.
Ice Spinner goes into the Miraidon for reflecting that -1. Yeah,
Okay.
that's so little.
I was going to say, if it crits, this could kind of decide things, but...
All right, next
Now
up is
it's
Electric Drift.
Wolverine.
Just it's Electric Terra boosted. It goes into the Zamazenta, who couldn't get a triple protect. It goes zooming into the Zamazenta. It hangs on at 30. What does the Calyrex do? Glacial Lance.
Okay. This should get the Zama.
No, it won't. The critical hit opportunity is still there, but the problem is literally, I think, because it's just Chen has a -1 attack. I don't think it has enough damage in time.
Yeah, that's the problem. Honestly, if Josh had gotten a little bit more aggressive that turn and just said, okay, Zama, go for it. Like, YOLO. YOLO, brother. And just tried to hit either the Miraidon or the Calyrex there, it would have been a real chance.
That's the 4% in a row, but this time it was not
Yeah,
in
that
succession.
time it was a guaranteed one, but now definitely the crit needed from the Chen Pao.
Okay, tongue comes out from the Calyrex.
Okay.
Chip out into the Calyrex. I'm not sure how good that is because I don't think it's doing much of anything. Yeah, Electric is blocked by Protect, but I think it might go down to his Glacial Lance still.
I don't think it will. I think it barely...
Oh, he tried the Trick Room!
Ooh, did go for the Trick Room. Okay, so it's going to stop that.
3 more turns of Reflect, but the thing just comes down to critical hits.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think Zama will need another double protect, and Chen Pao will need to crit through the Miraidon is the problem, because the Miraidon is going to be faster than the Zamazenta, or, yeah, I guess just Chen Pao critting the Zamazenta regardless. It's just, it's such an awkward spot to try to get rid of this Miraidon right now.
Here we go. This turn comes down to this. This whole tournament comes down to whether or not Raghav can break through. It's a Riot Guard from the Zamazenta to block out the Glacial Lance because we know it's the only attack Calyrex provides. That is not a critical hit. Electro Drift gets off. Who does it go to? It's going to go straight into the Zamazenta. Chen Pao is going to have to do this alone now.
Yeah, and I don't know that Chen Pao takes a single target Glacial Lance, and I definitely know that it doesn't take an Electro Drift. So whether of the two it decides to Sucker Punch, I don't know if it has an option to beat them.
Well, okay, first of all, Ice Cream goes on, and second of all, the Sucker Punch thing you're talking about is another mind game, because what if Miraidon just protects?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, even aside from whatever else, like, I think that... Because obviously you can Sucker Punch the... It doesn't matter if you Sucker Punch the Miraidon, you might as well just Ice Spinner it if you're going to attack the Miraidon.
Okay, there it is, and
Yeah,
into the
you
Miraidon it goes, and well,
But I don't know
it's
if it
now a
takes-
one-on-one between ice types.
I don't
the
know that
one
it
type
takes the
that
Glacial Lance,
the one type that everyone seemingly apparently hates now is in the spotlight for his final tournament. It's going to be Glacial Lance into this Chen Pao. Not enough for the knockout. There's one chance left, but Calyrex shakes off the taunt. That's bad.
-1 Sucker Punch doesn't have any chance.
Okay,
at
do we see a
all.
Glacial Lance? I think we saw Glacial Lance from Raghav. He's putting it down.
He leaves.
It's going to be Calyrex being taunted.
Okay.
There's the Glacial Lance from Raghav. You're wonderful. League finale.
Really fantastically played. Really, really fantastically played. I mean, that was a really nervy end game there with all of the very narrow hit takes and everything like that. And, yeah, just did a really great job.
Yeah, and that's going to conclude everything for the 2025 season. It's all over. Congratulations to Raghav Malaviya for joining the Hall of Fame class of 2025. And congratulations to all the trainers out. I'm going to be listening right now, thanks to the research that I've done on my own separate time for winning a gym challenge this season. The names include Benny Vasquez, Junshi Zhu, Joshua Denk, obviously, who made finals, but, made a great run today. Riley Factura twice. Giovanni Costa 3 times. Abiyu Batsuvai, Abigail Watson twice, Brian Perez, Shane Gaffney, Ellie Holman, Len Dool, Brian Collins, who made it to top cut, Arnie Wolf, Michael Wagner, a back-to-back champion, Alan Martinez, Benjamin Harlan, Anthony Asencia, who's in this list for some reason, I don't want to Haley Aldworth, Aaron Brock, and finally, Raghav Malaviya.
And winning such a tough one with 62 Masters here today. It was really something.
That's going to be doing it today, ladies and gentlemen, from Griffith Park, California, from Pokemon Labs production, from Dennis Geisler. This is Jesus Corona saying so long from 2025, and we'll see you at the start of the 2026 season.